Okay, it looks like it's 5:01, so I'm going to start the meeting.
Okay,
First item on the agenda is approval of minutes for March and April. Actually,
Motion to approve.
so did you have anything you wanted to add, Sue?
No, it was just it's the March minutes. The only problem is that because it's now video and for recording purposes, Stanley has to literally, there's no all or none. He literally has to ask each of you.
Right.
So you have to give me a few minutes just to jot this down.
why can't we all write it in the chat? And then Bill would be the only one that would have to do it because you can copy the chat.
Now, if they're, because it's against the rules.
Oh,
Yep.
because of open meeting laws, right?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
So
Yeah.
we all have to say yay and nay.
Okay, does
So
anybody
just-
have any questions?
Yep.
I think I saw a typo in the word April.
Where?
I don't know. It's very minor.
Okay.
All right, so Joan made the motion to approve it. Was there a second?
I'll second it.
Who was that?
Eileen.
Eileen?
Okay,
Wait a minute. With a possible spelling of April wrong. I'll just make the correction on that. All right, so minute. So how are you gonna do this? You gonna do it alphabetically or are you gonna do it by?
alphabetically. So Bill, how do you vote?
Yes, approve.
Okay,
Okay.
Wendy,
Approve.
Eileen,
Approve.
Sue,
I made them so. Yeah, I'll
Um,
approve them.
and Joan,
Yes.
and I approve them also. So that's done. Okay, financial report for March and April.
Right, okay, Lynn, I know you sent a new one, there wasn't that much. Biggest differences were, as we know, across the board, there were a lot of decreases due to the fact that the libraries have been closed. So your mileage expense was lower, vehicular expenses were lower, library supplies were lower. There was nothing in technology. Let's see, passport postage, there was nothing. Online expenses, there was a slight increase in April. Well, actually, it was a pretty good increase in April, but I'm guessing that Lynn would know what that was for online.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember.
Okay, it was, in March it was 189 and in April it was over 1,000. Water and sewer expense,
That could have been, I'm sorry, that could have been, I think that was the service we pay that keeps track of our use, the public's use of our Wi-Fi.
Okay,
Because it's a number we have to report to the state every year.
right. Okay, I'm assuming the water and sewer expense was a payment to the town or?
Yeah. If
Yeah,
there's anything in water and sewer, it's for the town.
paid that. That was a bigger expense. Salaries all remained the same except for the other salaries. So that was your substitutes were down as far as that goes. Custodial was slightly down. Building and repair was down in April. And then most of that was all because of being closed,
Right.
right?
There's not a lot going on.
Right. So that's basically it with financial.
Okay, anybody have any questions?
No.
Okay, somebody move to accept them.
Who second? Motion to approve. Who
Second.
seconded? Wendy?
I did.
Okay, we'll take the vote. Bill,
Approve.
Wendy,
Wendy, you're on mute.
Approve.
okay, Eileen,
Approve.
Suzanne,
Yes.
Joan,
Yes.
and I approve. Okay, director's report. Do you have anything to add, Lynn?
No, I don't. And I actually, I made sure I had printed out all my paperwork this morning to bring home because I'm doing it from home because I have the camera and the audio on my laptop. Of course, I left behind the paperwork I printed out, so I'm working from memory.
Okay.
We
Does
did-
anybody have any questions on the director's report? Okay, when I have, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I have a question. We did February in March.
I thought we did.
So technically should be from March and April and not February as
Mhm.
listed on the agenda.
That might have been my mistake.
Okay, just so they know that we've already discussed February. That was in
Yeah.
March, so any discussion should be on March and April because I got confused
Okay. Anybody else have anything?
and I just had it in my hand.
Okay, Lynn, I have one question.
Okay.
If we do the curbside pickup as the initial opening,
Yes.
do the staff need people's library cards to check books out?
No.
Okay,
We're,
Good.
it will be items on hold. And if there's a hold on it, you can bring it up in workflows and you can figure out who had the hold and get it checked out to them that way.
okay, that's good. Okay, anybody have anything else?
I do. Is that the plan? Has that been decided?
That's probably going to be part of our phase one for reopening. It's what a lot of libraries are doing for phase one. I actually had some brown paper bags finally arrive today so that we can bag up items. And we're just talking about the mechanics of getting them out of the building and to the parking lot. I know some libraries, they're asking people to pop the trunk of the car and dropping the bag of books in there, and there's no contact whatsoever. We had talked about having them come in the back hallway, but I'm rethinking that after hearing, thinking that might make more sense, as long as it's not pouring outside.
Are you going to do it at both libraries?
Yes.
Yeah, but wouldn't that go under new business?
Sorry.
Yeah, we can get into
Yeah,
more
only because
detail.
I'm gonna be a snot about this whole thing because I gotta take the minutes and I don't want to mess it up. So I apologize
No,
because
no.
I'm not quite sure. This
Well,
is kind of like,
Yeah, I just wanted to be sure as a safety measure that there was no need for staff to handle people's library cards. But the last item on the agenda for today is the opening. So does anybody have anything else on this?
no, I would
Okay.
say most of it has to do with the COVID and whatever meetings and such that Lynn had to attend, department heads and, the MBLC and dealing with the state and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Okay, I sent out the report of the Friends. I really have nothing to add. Does anybody have any questions or need more details? Okay, that takes care of the Friends. Report of the Dartmouth Library Foundation. I had actually meant to delete that. And
Well, there's
overlook
nothing to report anyway.
Right. Okay, Lynn, any correspondence?
No.
Okay, under old business, update on library construction project. Lynn covered quite a bit of the most recent news. But did you have anything to add to that, Suzanne?
No, I had submitted, I submitted, the, quick update. That was, I think, pretty much from the last, bit of our last, meeting. I mean, we're kind of stuck too. If,
Yeah.
you know, there's still some outstanding items. We do have another meeting, I think, coming up June 9th. Hopefully it's the last one, but
Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah. Okay.
Really.
Anybody have any questions on the construction update? Okay, the one thing I would add is there are plants coming up in the gardens, nothing blooming yet, but I think it's going to look nice. And there was a crew over there Friday working on plants and trees. They were replacing some stuff, I believe. Okay, return of the North Dartmouth branch property. The last meeting in March, we voted approval to notify the select board once we didn't have anything left in there that we had to get out, that I could send a letter, but I only found out about a week and a half ago that everything we needed was out. So what I sent you, I figured I'd just double up because we got the request from the select board to use the property for storage. So I sent you all the proposed letter, and I would like to move that we approve both to let them use it for storage until the fall town meeting can formally accept return of the property, and that I use the text that I sent to you in the letter with both items on it. So I'd
Okay,
like
so
to-
you're talking about, so this is the motion, right? This, the small one? Is
the
to notify,
motion. Yeah,
is to notify the select board we want to return it, and that
And-
we approve.
yeah.
Okay,
and that we approve their use for storage.
okay. Second,
So,
you're moving it, right?
yeah, I'll move that. Anybody want a second?
I'll second it.
Who seconded?
Eileen?
Eileen
Second.
seconded?
Okay, any discussion on it?
I have a question. What about the liability?
The what?
The liability?
It's going to be town departments using town property, basically. I don't see any problem with it. Does anyone else?
Well, on the insurance thing, I think the town will also, if they're using it for storage, technically they can say that the building is not vacant and they won't have to pay insurance on a vacant building.
Mhm.
So that could be another reason why. So I don't think there would be a problem having it turned over.
What
It
if
was
they put
meant-
something in storage and the building floods or mice eat it
Right.
and it ruins whatever they put in storage? Who's liable? What if somebody slips and hurt and hits their head?
Who holds the insurance on it
Insurance
now?
has it now, right? It's a good question, Joe. Who
Does the
holds the
town?
insurance? Is the library responsible for it now or is it the town?
Must be the town, because I've never dealt with any kind of insurance.
Okay.
So I would say that if, just to verify that they hold the insurance, and assuming that that is the case, then I would vote to go forward. you know.
Yeah, especially the case of they talked about youth programs or something. I don't know what that was all about.
All right, so then
I think
then moving this would be pending confirmation. The town holds the liability. Liability insurance for the building itself.
So
And
do we need to change the phrasing to say that we approve the use of it, provided it doesn't expose the library to any liability?
oh man,
Well,
you want to say that again? Damn it. You're killing me, Smalls.
do we send the letter as is, or do I alter it to say that we're willing to let them use it for storage, provided that we're not exposed to any liability? And if we want to alter it to refer to reliability, we'll have to start over.
Well, you'd have to redo it.
Well, as it's written, it doesn't mention liability. So if
Right.
we're going to make us not being liable for any damage to property or to people, then it has to be rewritten to reflect that.
Right.
I mean, I would think that the town bears responsibility, because if not, as Lynn said, you know, she's never dealt with any insurance issues. There's nothing in the library budget for insurance premiums.
Right.
So I would expect that liability belongs to the town.
Well, it's a municipal building, isn't it?
Yes,
Even though the town gives grants the running of it to the trustees.
we're granted oversight of it, basically.
Right. So we're
Still a town building.
theoretically we're like a department head.
More like a board of directors, but I would think. So it boils down to do we alter it or not? And if nobody wants it altered, then we can vote on it as is. The motions have been made.
It seems very likely that it's fine based on this discussion, but I think the way you worded it, which was we approve that document and the actions as long as we find out that we aren't liable. So I think we're okay with the document as it is, and would only have to come back if we found out something else.
Well, wouldn't number 2 be approve the select board's request to use the premises at that location as storage for other town departments during the period before town meeting can accept return of custody, provided the trustees are not exposed to any liability. Just tack it on at the end.
Sure.
Does somebody want to make a motion to do that?
Bill, I will.
Okay, Bill.
And I'll second it.
Okay, so at the very end of it, it's provided
Provided the trustees are not exposed to any liability.
Is it the trustees or the library?
What if I word it, the trustees and the library are not exposed to any liability? And if it comes back to me as not acceptable, we'll have to schedule another meeting. So I'll add, provided the library and the trustees. Are not exposed to any liability. Okay, so did somebody already make a motion and a second for the
Yeah, Bill
refund?
did and Wendy seconded.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay,
So now you gotta vote.
Bill, are you in favor?
Yes, approved.
Wendy,
Approved.
Eileen,
Approved.
Yes.
Suzanne,
Yes. Oh, Joan.
Joan,
Yes.
and I approve. Okay, that's done. Discussion on library reopenings. I think this will probably end up either going very quickly or keep us talking for quite a while. So I'm going to take things out of order. Does anybody have any other business they want to bring up? Okay, then we'll go to discussion of building reopenings.
Okay, do you want me to take lead here?
Yep,
Okay. I have several staff members who are now coming into the building routinely. Paula, Mary Jane was until she broke her ankle. Brian's coming in. Sometimes Tom is coming in. And we've been discussing things, and I've also been reading about what other libraries are doing. There's so much information out there right now, it's kind of hard to keep up with everything. But the first phase, we are thinking would be curbside service, where people have something on hold, we'll bring it out to them, and with minimum contact. Yesterday, we had a discussion about having the staff return. And a lot of libraries are going to be opening with limited hours. And and they're also splitting their staff into teams who do not interact with each other. And I think that's how we should start out also. A basic schedule would be 10 to 6, 10 in the morning till 6 in the evening, Monday through Friday. No evenings, no Saturdays. We would actually have 4 teams. There'd be 2 teams for North Dartmouth and 2 teams for Southworth. And 1 team would work for a week, and then they'd have the next week off, and the second team would work. That's how the DPW has been doing it. Some departments at Town Hall are doing days off, but I think it's better to maybe have the weekend in between teams to help make sure everything's clean and ready for the next person. I know that the governor mentioned May 25th, but that's Memorial Day. We're never open on Memorial Day. My staff felt that June 1st, which is a Monday, would be a good time to start. Because we need to, Sherry's been communicating with staff, trying to find out if everyone is ready to return. Some people have good reasons not to, like Mary Jane's out. Sydney has a child, a little boy who's, I don't think he's even a year old yet, and she doesn't want to expose him. Pam's husband is quite frail, and I'm sure she doesn't want to take a chance exposing him. So we'll probably have a few less staff than usual. And That's about where we stand at this point. We've been thinking about it and talking about it. When it's time to reopen to the public, that's going to require some more thinking about how do we have to limit the number of people coming in, and how do we do that? Right now, if we do offer the curbside service, we're only going to allow entry into the library when it opens through the back door. A couple of things we have done already. We had locked the book drops when the virus first became a big problem. Joe, we've unlocked them now, and Joe's been collecting the books. He uses gloves, and he sets it all aside. I guess 3 days is the amount of time it needs to be set aside before staff handle it. And then, like, Tom's been checking in everything that once it's been taken out of quarantine, and he's checking it in. Another thing that we did, besides the book drops, was we had stopped ordering new books and things because no one was in the buildings. No one was reliably in the buildings anyways. So there was no one to accept delivery. Well, now that enough of us are spending regular hours there, we are ordering books. We've actually gotten some, so we can start processing them. We're leaving the lobbies open for the front and the back of the building, so the delivery man can just open the door, drop off the box of whatever it is, and leave. So those are things we're already doing. But the trickiest thing is going to be reopening the building. I think we'll have to, I haven't talked with Chris Michaud from the Board of Health, and I need to, because he's been talking with Joe, but I need to. But we need to space our computers further apart, our public computers, things like that. There's still a lot to think about. We do have sneeze screens, whatever you want to call them. They arrived today, and Joe hung one up, the first one, and they will work well. They're very clear. He actually had put tape along the bottom because you might not even notice that there's a screen there in front of you.
Is that both buildings or just,
They'll be at both buildings.
Stanley, can you enable the screen share? Lynn, this came today with, tell me when it's enabled.
no, I think you have to share your screen.
No, the host has disabled. Who's the host?
The
Okay.
Dartmouth.
So
Okay.
have you gotten, I got in a whole packet of reopening Massachusetts, but there's a whole section on reopening your library. And
Really?
yes, and it's Governor Baker's reopening plan. Wait, there's a whole section about how to open your library. I'm going to put it here in the chat, the link. Okay, so here's the, do you see in the chat? Do you know how to find the chat, Lynn?
I'm seeing it.
Okay,
here.
so if you click on that, right now it'll come to your desktop. And it is a whole plan, plus it also has a variety of different places that already have examples of curbside delivery. And they have like all the information they're giving, how they're doing it. It's around the country, different ones, but we can look at their process. If you
Okay.
click on it, it includes curbside delivery process, how to pick up without appointment, with appointments, in the trunk, for walkers and bikers. So there's all kinds of good information here. And in terms of what you do in the building, there are specific guidelines that you will have to follow in terms of distance and, it's not just
Right.
shields and stuff like that, but all of that, because we've been getting them for our office. It's all part of this giant package that is going out. So this is just one section, but we found it's pretty clear, like what you have to do. It's overwhelming,
Okay.
but it's
I
pretty
haven't-
clear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't found that yet. I'll have to
Right.
take a
And do you have
look at that.
masks and gloves, enough masks
We
and
have
gloves?
gloves. We have gloves. Those of us who come in do have masks. We're right now we're using our own. again, we should probably be supplying some for staff, or else having staff know that they should supply masks for themselves, one way or the other.
Well, you could probably be right. I mean, the town, we're getting them from MEMA, that the
Mhm.
town should be able to get. And we got the, these are the good ones.
N95s.
But they're not the ones with the breathing mechanism, but these. Wait, I have to, if I take this off, you'll see it better. Hold on. Okay, so it's, I always get, so it goes like this, and it has the elastic here. So it has the built-in filter with that. And I know that all our agencies were allowed to apply. I applied for 50, I got 5, but I did get 5. And you're allowed to apply once a month. So you should ask them. They're going through MEMA to get them. That's the mass version of FEMA.
Okay.
Dan, this is Bill. I have somebody at my door. I'm going to get off the board. Off the phone call.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Sue?
Yeah.
Isn't there some rule about if someone leaves the meeting early?
It just has to be noted in the minutes.
Right, as long as it doesn't affect the quorum. We still have a quorum, though. Yeah.
It doesn't, and I don't think we're actually going to take any votes now anyway.
No.
There's some requirement, though. The DCTV guy did just take off the screen share restriction if you want to show
Oh,
something.
okay, great.
Just FYI.
No, it still says it's disabled.
He just told me he would do it.
Says host disabled, participant screen sharing.
Nope. Not
I'm
part-
using, I have little experience with Zoom, and I'm using it on a tablet with the Android app. I'm not even sure how to turn that on and off.
Well, you're not the host. It's the Dartmouth community.
No, it's Mike. Mike's the host.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter whether you can do it or not. It has to be the host that does it. But I gave her the link, so that should bring you to it.
Yeah, it does.
Good stuff.
Right. It spells everything, and I love the fact that we can look at what other people are doing
Right.
and see what sort of fits what your style is and your staff style is. That
Mhm.
there's options, and there's options like some places don't allow walkers and bikers. Some places only allow you to come up with the car. Some allow both. Some allow you to make reservations in advance. Some you can just pull up. So you can check it all out.
Can you email me that?
No
Yeah.
problem.
And that
Me
way I'll have it on my
also.
computer tomorrow.
Could you send that to me also, please, Wendy?
I'll send it to everybody.
That's
Okay.
good.
Thank you.
Okay, it's in
Lynn,
your
I
email.
just have a question when you were talking about the 2 teams at the
Mhm.
buildings. You're talking about, let's use the new branch, for example. They have 2 teams. So one week it's team 1. The
Mhm.
next week it's team 2. So they rotate?
Yes.
Okay.
Lynn, what's been the response of the public? Have you gotten any questions or any comments?
I've gotten phone calls from people mainly asking for help with ebooks and online resources, and other than that, I haven't heard a lot. And I've referred some people to Sharony because she's really more of our expert with some of those things.
And have you been on any of the calls that the MBLC or whoever has done with regard to, strategies for dealing with this?
I'm on Sales has this Base Camp, our network, and I do subscribe to that. if they do once at the end of every day, they do like a day, you know, they set it, because you get so darn many emails into your inbox. They build up rapidly. Right now, I know I've got over 400. I just can't keep up with them.
Right.
But they do put like a
Digest.
condensation of everything at the end of the day.
So this is what I found. This is a little, wrap up too. I just put it in the chat. Okay, so business and other organizations shall limit occupancy within their office space to no more than 25% of the maximum capacity. You know, tells you all the different things. You have to have a COVID-19 essential service plan. You have to be able to submit a plan to the state saying what you're going to do to be able to do it. You have to have 6 feet or more between individuals, you know, so there's like a lot of stuff, that criteria that we're going to have to meet before you can just open. See if
Right.
can
I
say
think
this.
we all understand that. So the next 2 weeks anyways, we're only, well, starting June 1st, we're thinking curbside service, but still no people in the building because it's not, we have to make a lot of adjustments to do it.
Even with your staff, you're going to have to, have that plan in place before you can open. You're going to
Okay.
have to meet the criteria on that form of how many staff you're going to have. You're only going to allowed to be open only 25% of staff and 25% of patrons. So, I mean, that's what this says, 25% of the maximum occupancy level specified in any certificate of occupancy or similar permit. So it's not going to be, everybody can come back.
So that would be 24 patrons in the new building.
That's at a time.
Right.
But just like the supermarket, we'll have to set up 6 feet spaces, and when one person leaves,
Joe's
someone
actually,
else.
yeah, Joe's already done that.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I know that all our offices are working on plans on how to do it, and what we're discovering is that to meet that 6 feet criteria, some of us have too many employees. Like, we have people working in cubicles.
Yeah.
Right, and that doesn't do it. So we're staggering. We're staggering 3 working periods before we open up, and we're not opening up actually until at least June.
Lynn, how many people will be on a team?
I'm not sure. It depends on how many, well, for North, it'd be 2 people per team.
Okay.
For Southworth, it's going to depend on if some people say no, they don't. I know I have at least one staff member, Sue Hess, who is in her 80s, her family has told her, no, you may not go back to work. She's at the high, really high risk. So it'll depend on that, like how many people we wind up having.
I thought I saw something in one of the those mailings from MBLC that for the first phase, pretty much it sounded like curbside services all we're allowed to do.
Well, that's yeah, we're starting with that.
Right, but I don't think we can open the building to patrons, and if all we're doing is curbside service, that's going to reduce the number of staff that you need to have in the building at any one time.
That's true.
Well, I know that somebody emailed me and they wanted to know if there was going to be curbside. So they missed their library.
Right, and anybody can read this mass.gov website and see what it says, so they
Yeah,
will.
but nobody's going to sit there and read it all. They're just
It also says that you have to apply. The business has to provide masks, not the employees, and you have to provide sanitizer and cleaning items as well. That has to come from the library, not from the individual.
Okay.
Yeah.
for staff.
You also
right?
have to have a plan what to do if an active employee is diagnosed with COVID-19. And there's a reopening library advisory board.
There isn't a reopening board?
Yep.
You mean at the state level?
Yep.
So
So
there's
it must
an
be if you,
MLBC.
well, it must be if you have questions. It doesn't say that they have to, you know, I'm reading very quickly through this, so somebody has to, wait, reopening 4-phase approach. It looks to me like that for 3 weeks, it will be curbside before you can consider patrons. But as I'm saying, I'm reading this really quick. I did take Evelyn Woods when I was a kid, but. So on May 18th, essential business, manufacturing, construction, lab space, office space, hair, pet grooming, car washes, remote fulfillment, retail, remote fulfillment, curbside pickup. So that's May 25th. And that's phase 1 start.
But there's no requirement that you have to open May 25th. That's just. when you
No,
can.
no, no, no.
Right.
No,
So that's the earliest you can.
right,
Right.
he's, right.
And the governor said, I believe, that he expected phase 1 to last at least 3 weeks and
Right.
possibly longer.
Right.
Great.
So I
And
think
it says that non-essential businesses must comply with safety standards and must self-certify by May 25th, 2020, if you were going to open. And then if you're not opening, then you're gonna have to self-certify before you open the next time. You know, whatever date you assume.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the issues for phase 1 is how are we going to do the curbside service and make sure that we meet the inside requirements for staff. So we're going to have to dig through, you know.
Okay,
what
so
the
here's
state
one of
requires.
here's one of the ones that is listed. This is from Eagle Valley Library District. Number 1, place items on hold at eaglevalleylibrarydistrict.org or by calling your local library branch. Please at least an hour for us to get your items ready. When you arrive to pick up your holds, pull into the space reserved for curbside pickup. Call the phone number on the curbside pickup sign to let us know you have arrived and have your library card number ready. And then they bring it out to you. Please return all materials in the outside drop box, not accepting donations. So that's just one city that's the way they're doing it. There's like 10 different choices here. Here's a Massachusetts one, Watertown. Call to place orders, no computer. Ordering Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. Pickup hours, Monday 1 to 4, Wednesday 11 to 2, Friday 9 to 12. Text, okay. If you can drive, please do for the safety. Please wear your face covering when you come. There are 8 dedicated curb-size pickup spaces in the island closest to the building. You will see signs on the meter. Pull into one of the spots. Text your space number and order number 2. And this number is on the sign as well. Roll up your car windows, wear your face covering, pop the trunk and stay in the car. Library staff will put your items in your trunk and leave. Then you can get out and close your trunk. Walkers and bikers, text us at 5 minutes prior to arriving. Go to the parking lot entrance. Your items will be waiting for you outside in a paper bag with your order number on it. So there's a couple of different patterns you could follow.
Okay.
I'm typing all of this into a Word document. I can send it to you.
No, that'd be good.
You could just click on all those things on that page that I sent. And
Mhm.
everything I just said will come up.
Under the reopening tab, right?
Yeah, under the URL that I sent you all. It's all in your emails now. But if you click on it, if you click it on the Zoom, it'll open up for you right now. if you click on that URL.
I think you, well,
It'll
I don't
say
see it on
desktop.
Zoom.
On
Right.
Yeah,
the
no, you
Zoom-
have to go
on
to
the
the
Zoom
chat. You have to go to the chat.
chat.
Wait a
Oh.
minute. Go to hover your cursor at the bottom of your screen. You'll see chat. Click on the chat. It should pop up, and then click on it. I just did. You guys are all gone, and I'm brought right to Massachusetts Library System, and
Oh, okay.
and the
That's
tab
confusing.
is right to reopening your library.
Right, and while you're there, if you also click on participants, then you see a list of everybody, and then you see who's talking and whose camera's on, and then
Yep.
you can talk to either everybody or you can talk to each person individually.
Yep.
And then if you look where it says, you see where it says to everybody and to everyone, you see that? In the Zoom chat, you have the chat, the Zoom group chat.
I'm, all right, I had brought up the
God, I lost my Zoom here.
screen, yeah.
You have to click, if you look down at the bottom of your, not on the screen itself, but the bottom of your computer, the little camera thing, the Zoom little camera, click on that and we come back.
Image.
Or if you see yourself in a little square.
I just came back, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if you look at the Zoom group chat, you see where it says to everyone?
Yes.
Type
Yes.
a message, so you can either go to everyone, or if you click on that down arrow, it will give you a list of everybody that's here. You can send a private message. Then if you look to the right, it says file. If you
Yes.
click on that, you can download a file from your computer or from your Google Drive, and it will appear in the Zoom group chat. So if I wanted to share something with you, I could go, let me find something. Yeah, this is, so I could click on the file here. I could go to my computer, and then I could put in, I'll just put something in that has like, okay, nothing to do with you, but you see how I just put a flyer, a folder,
Yes.
Yeah.
a document.
Okay.
Okay, so little Zoom thing. My life has become Zoom.
Thank you, because this is, I haven't done many Zoom meetings, so it's still fairly new.
I've noticed that if you spend 5 minutes explaining, people get it. It's not hard, but you just have to, know what all the tricks are. And also YouTube has great, if you look up Zoom hacks, YouTube has wonderful stuff. I could put you in different rooms. I can show you how to use a whiteboard. It's very cool.
okay, all right. Hot.
Very cool. Okay, are we done? We have anything else? I mean, we need a plan before you open, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's on, I think that's on you, Lynn.
Oh, I know.
So,
I'm happy to participate.
Okay. Might take you up on that.
Yeah, if you need
Is you-
anything, just let me know.
Here's what I put together. Screen share is working. So here's what's currently happening. And then here's the curbside pickup, kind of some plan and some questions. And then here's the reopen to the public and some plan and some questions.
Cool.
can you email that to me?
I'll email to everybody. You got it.
Yeah, you,
Okay.
Whoops. Was someone reading that? Sorry.
Yeah, okay, so this is the reopening your library,
right.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the curbside delivery, but here is the mandatory safety standards, so that we
Okay.
would have to meet these, and we'd have to have a 4-phase approach. And part of what we'd have to meet is the mass safety standards for open space,
Okay.
office space. And I know there has to be a plan also if somebody has, has a diagnosis. And then these were the curbside delivery. And I didn't really look what this was. Oh, this is for safe handling of collections. Oh, you could take a webinar. Wait, May 6th, May 12th, Friday, May 15th. No, they're all done already.
But there's probably recorded.
I'm sure, yeah. Niche, we subscribe to Niche Academy. So I'm sure we could.
Right. So that might
Get into that.
be the easiest thing, because you know what, Lynn? They might just have like a thing that you could check off 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 without driving
Uh-huh.
yourself crazy. Yeah, so already here's one library. They have a phase plan.
Mhm.
There are a few different libraries here.
Oh, there are libraries in Massachusetts that have phased plans.
Right.
and
So it would be,
But they're
you know,
working on them and they're sharing them.
right. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't make your life any harder than it has
Oh,
to be.
yeah, I wasn't planning to.
Right.
So,
Anything else?
I don't think
Lynn,
so.
is there any word from sales about when they intend to start delivering books between libraries again?
I haven't heard anything yet.
Okay,
That's actually, it's MLS, the Mass Library System, that handles that.
right, okay. All right, just curious. Anybody have anything else? Okay, I put the next meeting date, I put June 9th down, but we may have to change that because of altering conditions, so I'll keep in touch with people. Does anybody want to move to adjourn?
I'll
So
move.
moved. I'll second it. Eileen moved, I second.
Okay, Bill is gone, so Wendy, vote yes or no.
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
Suzanne,
yes.
Joan,
Yes.
and I vote yes. So, thank you, everybody.
At
Thank you.
5:15.
Thank you, Lynn.
Yes.